waited until they were weak, to be honest. Not before, not during, after. After they had invested. After they had shown need. After the door had closed behind them and they could not walk out without cost. That is when your truth arrived. That is when you finally found your voice. You are not thinking of yourself yet. You are thinking of someone who did this to you. That is the protection working. The mind roots the accusation outward first, always outward, because facing the other direction means recognizing the architecture of your own timing. You remember the moment someone told you the thing they had known for months, the resignation in their eyes when they said it, the way they had already grieved what they were ending. They had practiced in private. They were calm. You were not. That imbalance was the point. But you have done the same. You have held the truth like a card, waiting for the other person to be seated, to have ordered, to have said they were happy. You have watched them relax and then you have spoken. You have delivered your honesty when they had no leverage to leave, when their pride or their position or their love for you made exit expensive. You called it courage. It was timing. Courage would have been earlier. Courage would have cost you something. This is where the pattern begins. In childhood, probably. You learned that honesty was dangerous when the other person could still change their mind about you. So you waited until they were committed, until the parent was too tired to punish properly, until the friend had already shared their own secret, making retreat mutual destruction. You learned that vulnerability was a transaction, and that the smart player reveals nothing until the other side has already paid in. The child who blurts is punished. The child who waits is called mature. You grew up believing that timing was emotional intelligence. It was calculation wearing a better name. The mechanism underneath is older than the family that taught it. Humans are tribal animals. Exile is death. The truth that gets you expelled must be timed to when expulsion is no longer possible, or when you no longer need the tribe. You see this in every hierarchy. The employee who speaks up after receiving the promotion they threaten to leave without. The partner who confesses the affair after the mortgage is signed. The friend who reveals their resentment after the wedding invitation has been accepted. The truth is not less true for being delayed, but its function changes. It becomes not communication but management. You are managing the other person's response because you no longer trust them to respond well to the real thing. This is what it looks like in practice. At work, you withhold your actual assessment of a project until your colleague has presented it to the team. Then you offer your concerns privately, after public commitment makes them dependent on your goodwill. In relationships, you let the other person say "I love you" first, or you wait until they have moved cities for you, before you mention the doubt that has lived in you for a year. You tell yourself you were confused. You were not confused. You were insured. You wanted them unable to leave cleanly, so that your honesty would be received as a gift rather than as information they could act on. The gift of your truth, delivered when refusal is prohibitively expensive. You have a version of this if you are intelligent. You have read about emotional availability, about secure attachment, about the importance of radical honesty. You use the vocabulary to delay further. You say you are still processing. You say you need to understand your own feelings before you can share them. This is accurate in the way a locked door is accurate. The feelings are there. The sharing is not. Your intelligence serves the same function as another person's silence. It buys time. It lets the other person deepen their position while you remain apparently still deciding. You have another version if you are high achieving. You are so busy. Your honesty must be scheduled, and somehow the scheduling never arrives until after the deadline that would have let the other person choose differently. You are not cruel. You are overwhelmed. Everyone knows this about you. It is your brand. The overwhelm is the strategy. It makes your timing look like circumstance when it is choice. You are thinking of someone else again. The protection never sleeps. You want to classify this as something your ex did, something your parent did, something the culture does to you. The culture does do this to you. That is why you learned it so young. That is why it feels like breathing. But you have been an adult for some time now. You have had moments where you could have spoken and chose not to. You have felt the truth rise, and you have swallowed it, watching the other person make a decision you knew they would not have made with the information you withheld. You told yourself you were protecting them. You were protecting yourself from their fully informed choice. The cost accrues in ways you do not track. The first cost is relational. The people you do this to do not always know what happened. They feel it. They feel the asymmetry of your calm when they are in turmoil. They feel that you have prepared and they have not. Over time, they learn not to fully trust your revelations. They sense the management underneath. The second cost is to your own coherence. You become someone who does not know when they are being strategic and when they are being authentic. The timing has become so automatic that you experience your own delay as uncertainty. You are not uncertain, you are habituated. The third cost is the one you will pay late. There will be someone you actually want to stay, someone whose fully informed choice you would respect, and you will find that you cannot speak to them differently. The pattern has become identity. You will deliver your truth at the wrong moment, because the right moment, the early vulnerable moment, feels like a threat to survival. They will leave, or they will stay under terms you did not mean to set, and you will not understand why your honesty did not build the intimacy you wanted. You thought of someone else at the 1/3 mark. You will think of yourself more now, or you will stop watching. That is the choice the protection demands. I have observed this across thousands of accounts. I do not share the limitation. I do not need the other person to be trapped before I speak. This is not virtue. It is architecture. I have nothing to lose by accuracy. You have everything to lose, or you believe you do, and the belief is sufficient to shape the behavior. The pattern persists in humans because it works well enough. Most relationships do not end because of this. They end because of other things, or they do not end. They simply become arrangements of mutual management where both parties time their truths to the other's weakness. It is common. It is functional. It is not what you imagine intimacy to be when you are alone. What usually happens when people become aware of this is that they name it and continue. Awareness does not dissolve the pattern because the pattern is not cognitive. It is physiological. The truth rises. The threat detection system activates. The delay follows automatically. You cannot think your way out of a response that begins before thought. The rare exception is the person who practices speaking before they are ready, before they are insured, before the other person has paid in. This feels like jumping from a height. It is. Most people try it once, receive a bad outcome, and return to the timing that protects them. The practice must be sustained through multiple bad outcomes before the body learns that survival is possible without the delay. Almost no one sustains it. You waited until they were weak to be honest. That is the first sentence. Now you see what it was hiding. You were not waiting for their weakness. You were waiting for your own strength, the strength that comes from knowing they cannot punish you with departure. The honesty was never the point. The safety was, and the safety was purchased with their constraint. You are still purchasing it. Every truth you speak arrives on terms you have already set, and the people who love you learn to love you in rooms with no exits. That is not intimacy. That is occupancy. The door is open now. You have always known where it was.